Are you feeling powerless in your relationship with a narcissistic wife? You're not alone. In today's video, we're going to change that narrative. Stick with us to discover strategies to regain your voice and balance in the relationship. Action number 1. Establish unshakable boundaries. Imagine your boundaries as the walls of a castle. Each brick is a no, a limit, a line that shouldn't be crossed. Building these takes courage, clarity, and consistency. Communicate your limits calmly and clearly. If they say you're too sensitive, respond with, "I respect my feelings and I expect you to do the same." This isn't just setting a boundary, it's reinforcing your self-worth. Every no adds strength to your fortress, and over time, this fortress becomes impregnable. You'll see that a narcissist's manipulative tactics lose their power against the solid walls of your boundaries. Action number 2. Cultivate self-compassion. Narcissists can be like emotional vampires. But guess what? They can't drain what you continually replenish, so embrace self-compassion. Narcissists can be like emotional vampires. But guess what? They can't drain what you continually replenish, so embrace self-compassion. It's the healing balm for the scratches and scars inflicted by a narcissist's harsh words. Start a self-compassion journal. Write down 3 things you forgive yourself for each day. Forgive yourself for not knowing better before you knew better. Every stroke of the pen is an act of self-love, and in the echoing halls of your inner sanctuary, the narcissist's voice becomes a distant, powerless whisper. When you practice self-compassion, you wear armor that deflects their critical arrows. You become a warrior, and your heart, your self-love, is your shield. Action number 3. Embrace your independence. This is not just a statement. It's a revolutionary act, especially when dealing with a narcissist. They often want to be the sun at the center of your universe, expecting everything to revolve around them. But here's what you can do. Become your own sun. Start by identifying your passions and interests that are separate from your relationship. Dive into hobbies, rekindle friendships, and make plans that are just for you. When you start to orbit around your own passions and interests, the narcissist's gravitational pull weakens. It's like this. When you have your own thing going, a narcissist's influence diminishes. They're no longer the puppeteer, and you're not the puppet. Engage in activities that make you lose track of time, ones that light you up and give you energy rather than drain it. You're building a life that's not dependent on their approval or attention, and that's incredibly empowering. Action number 4. Practice mindful communication. When it comes to dealing with narcissists, what you say and how you say it can either reinforce their control or start to shift the balance of power. That's where mindful communication comes into play. This isn't about walking on eggshells, it's about speaking with intention and clarity. Instead of reactive responses, choose proactive dialogue. Say for instance that the narcissist throws criticism your way. Rather than spiraling into a defense, take a breath. Use I statements. I understand that you see things differently, but I am comfortable with my perspective. See, mindful communication isn't just about words, it's about the energy behind them. It's speaking from a place of calm and self-assurance rather than fear and defensiveness. This way, you're not feeding into the drama that narcissists thrive on. It's like being the steady rock in the middle of a stormy sea. The waves crash, the winds howl, but you remain unmoved. And with each mindful interaction, the narcissist begins to realize that their usual tactics aren't working. They no longer hold the remote control to your emotions, you do. Action number 5. Seek support networks. When you're up against narcissistic behaviors, a support network isn't just nice to have. It's essential. It's like having an army by your side as you navigate the battlefield of this relationship. Surround yourself with friends, family, therapists, and support groups. People who can look at the situation objectively and remind you of your worth. They're your cheerleaders, your strategists, and your sanctuary. Narcissists often try to isolate their partners, making them feel that there's nowhere to turn. But by actively maintaining and seeking out a support network, you create a web of protection. It's a clear signal to the narcissist that you're not alone, that you have allies, and that you're valued and understood outside of their narrative. This network serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you the reality that's often distorted by the narcissist's gaslighting. They ground you, they offer perspectives that you may have lost sight of, and most importantly, they provide emotional oxygen when you're feeling suffocated. By investing in your support network, you're building an emotional fortress around you, making it clear to the narcissist that their power is not absolute. To shift the balance of power with a narcissist, it's vital to cultivate a high level of emotional intelligence, or EI. This means becoming acutely aware of your own emotions, understanding what triggers them, and recognizing the manipulation tactics that a narcissist employs. When you're emotionally intelligent, you're like a skilled negotiator in the complex exchange of human emotions, able to navigate through the mire without getting stuck. Developing EI starts with introspection. Pay close attention to the emotional responses you have during interactions with the narcissist. Are you feeling anxious, diminished, angry? These emotional cues are your compass. They tell you where your boundaries are being pushed and where your self-esteem is being threatened. Instead of reacting on impulse, you learn to respond with wisdom. Moreover, EI involves empathy, both for yourself and the narcissist. This isn't about excusing their behavior, but rather understanding where it comes from. It's like having a map of their mind. You don't get lost in it, but you understand the terrain. This perspective gives you leverage because when you see through the facade of their actions, they lose the element of surprise. They can't manipulate what you already understand. Action number 7. Prioritize personal growth. Prioritizing personal growth is your secret weapon against the influence of a narcissist. It's about evolving beyond the role they've cast you in. Like a plant reaching for the sun, you need to reach for your own light. This means setting goals for yourself that are independent of the relationship. Maybe it's learning a new skill, advancing your career, or improving your physical health. These goals become the steps on the ladder leading out to the narcissistic shadow. Personal growth is both a journey and a destination. It's an ongoing process of self-discovery and self-improvement that makes you more resilient to the narcissist's attempts to undermine your worth. As you grow, you may find that what once upset you now barely registers. You're getting stronger, and every new achievement is another layer of armor protecting your sense of self. Action number 8. Learn to say no without guilt. One of the most effective actions in shifting the power dynamic with a narcissist is mastering the art of saying no without feeling guilty about it. Narcissists expect the world to bend to their desires, but your no is a declaration of autonomy. It's a simple word, but it's profound in its impact. It sets a clear boundary and communicates that you're not at their beck and call. Learning to say no starts with recognizing that you have a right to your own time, energy, and choices. Understand that no is a complete sentence. It doesn't require justification, explanation, or an apology. Each time you assert this, it's like putting a brick in a fortress wall that shields you from the narcissist's control tactics. The guilt that often comes with saying no to a narcissist is a symptom of their manipulation. They've conditioned you to prioritize their needs above your own. But as you practice this skill, the guilt diminishes. You'll realize that setting boundaries is not only healthy, but also necessary. And as this guilt loses its grip, the narcissist's power to manipulate you weakens significantly. Action number 9. Reinforce your reality. Narcissists are notorious for using gaslighting techniques to make you question your perception of reality. Reinforcing your reality is about holding on to your truth, despite their attempts to twist it. Keep a journal or a record of events, conversations, and your feelings about them. This is not just for potential evidence, but also to validate your experiences when your memory is challenged. Your reality is the ground upon which you stand, and each time you affirm it, you're anchoring yourself against the narcissist's storm. When they say, "That's not how it happened," you can look at your records and affirm, "Yes, it is." It's a way of asserting your mental sovereignty, making it clear that your mind is not their playground. Action number 10. Create financial independence. One tactic narcissists often use to exert control is financial leverage. Creating financial independence is your counter-strategy. Start by understanding your financial situation fully, knowing where every penny comes from and where it goes. If possible, establish your own bank account, build your own credit, and create a budget that allows you to save for your future. Financial independence is empowering because it reduces the avenues through which a narcissist can control you. When you have your own money, you have choices, and choices equal power. If they threaten to use money as a bargaining chip, your independence becomes your shield. Now that you've learned about shifting the balance of power with a narcissistic wife, take the next step. explore ways to unravel a narcissistic wife's web of deceit for deeper insights, or how to set boundaries and protect your well-being for personal empowerment. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more guidance.